Hello and welcome back to PA Academy. This is the video for example number 4. So if you are just watching this and you missed the previous parts of this video, kindly check the video description. You'll find the link. So what we have been solving here is quadratic equation using completing the square method. So this is the equation the quadratic equation for question number 4. Now if you examine this question closely, you see that there is a value before the highest power of 2. We have 2p squared. Unlike the previous example we looked at, whereby we just have x squared, s squared, s squared, there is no value before the x. But right now there is a value before the x. So let's do this. So for question like this, the first thing you are going to do is you are going to divide through by 2. So let me write it. Divide through by 2. So the reason why I divided by through by 2 is we want this p squared to be standing alone. Don't forget we have p here, but in the example we looked at, we have x. And I've mentioned it before that it could be any alphabet. So we have 2p squared, and now we are dividing it by 2 because we are using completely the square method. So dividing it through by 2 so that this p squared can be standing alone. So in doing that, we are going to be having 2p squared over 2 minus 33p over 2 plus 16 over 2 equals to 0. So with that, these 2 will cancel 2. So even if you have another number here, if it is 4, 5, 6, whatever the number is, you divide through by that number. So take note of that. So 2 in 16, that is 8. So we are going to still leave 33 over 2 since 2 cannot divide 33 and give us a whole number. So what we'll be having now is p squared minus 33p over 2 plus 8 is equals to 0. So now what we are going to do is we are going to bring 8, this plus 8, to the other side of the equation. So that will be giving us p squared minus 33 over 2p is equals to minus 8. So at this junction, what we are going to do is we are going to half and square the coefficient of p. So let me write it. Half and square the coefficient of p and add it to both sides. And add to both sides. So now the coefficient of p here is minus 33 over 2. Minus 33 over 2. So let me do that here. So now minus 33 over 2 is the coefficient of p. Now if we decide to half it, that is divided by 2. That is 33 over 2 divided by 2. So we can also rewrite this as minus 33 over 2 times 1 over 2. So that will give us minus 33 over 4. So this is the half of minus 33 over 2. It will give us minus 33 over 4. Now we have half it already. So the next thing is to square it. In squaring this, we just put this in brackets and add a square. So this value is what we are going to add to both sides of the equation. So that would be p squared minus 33 over 2p plus minus 33 over 4 all square is equals to minus 8 plus into bracket minus 33 over 4 all square. So next thing is, so at this point, under completing the square, you pick p and what you have with the square, what you have in the bracket of the square, that will be p minus 33 over 4. You put everything into brackets square. Now once you open this brackets, p minus 33 over 4 all square, if you should open this bracket, you are still going to get p squared minus 33 over 2p plus minus 33 over 4 all square. So opening this bracket, you still arrive at this. So now you are still correct. Writing it like this is still the same thing as this. So then equals to minus 8 plus, so now we open this bracket, so minus 33 square. So minus 33 square will give us 1089 over, so 4 square will give us 16. So next thing is this. So now we are going to write p minus 33 over 4 all square is equals to, so minus 8, let me write this again, plus, now I'm taking off the brackets, plus 1089 over 16. So that will give us p minus 33 over 4 all square equals to, so at this point let's add this as over 1. We look for the LCM. So the LCM of minus 8 plus 10,089 over 16, that will give us 16. So 16 divided by 1, 16 divided by 1 is 16 multiplied by 8. So that will give us minus 128. So when we are multiply with minus, take note of the minus. Once you omit the minus, you arrive at the wrong answer. So 16 divided by 16, that's just 1, multiplied by 1089. That will give us plus 1089. So moving forward, we are going to have p minus 33 over 4 all squared, so is equals to, so minus 128 plus 1089, so that will give us 961 over 16. So from here, what we are going to do now is we are going to find the square root. So find the square root of both sides. So doing that, we are going to have p minus 33 over 4 all square is equals to 961 over 16. So now let me add the square root. So once we add the square root at this point, we don't forget the plus or minus. So this square root will cancel this square. So let's continue it here. So what we are going to be having is p minus 33 over 4 is equals to, so the square root of 961, that is 31, and then the square root of 16 is 4. So that will give us plus or minus 31 over 4. So what next thing to do is to this 33 over 4, we are going to bring it to the other side of the equation. So that will be p is equals to, so if minus 33 over 4 should come to the other side of the equation, we are going to be having 33 over 4. The sign will change. It was negative here, it becomes positive. So plus or minus 31 over 4. So now let's split the equation. So we are going to be having p is equals to 33 over 4 plus 31 over 4. Also, we are going to have p is equals to 33 over 4 minus 31 over 4. So the difference here is this here is minus, and here we are having plus. And what we did, because we're having plus or minus here. So p for this one is that the LCM here is 4. So 4 divided by 4, that's 1. Multiplied by 33, so we are going to be having 33. So 4 divided by 4 is also 1. Multiplied by 31 plus 31. So let's finish up with this first. So p is equals to, so 33 plus 31, that will give us 64 divided by 4. So 64 divided by 4 is equals to 16. So p is equals to 16. So that's the value for p here. So let's continue with the other part. So p is equals to, the LCM here is also 4. So 4 divided by 4, 1, multiplied by 33, that will give us 33. 4 divided by 4, 1, multiplied by minus 31, that will give us minus 31. So p is equals to 33 minus 31, that is 2 over 4. So 2 divided by 4, 2 is 1, 2 here is 2. So the value for p here is equals to 1 over 2. So At the end of solving this example 4 using completing the square method, we've been able to get the value of p as the value of p is equals to 16 and 1/2. So using completing the square method. So just to note, to test if you are right, if you put the value of this 16 into this equation, you get 0. If you put 1/2 into this equation, that means wherever you have p, like where you have p square and where you have p, if you put 16 there, if you put 16, 2 into bracket 16 square minus 33 times 16 plus 16, you arrive at 0. If you also use 1/2 in place of p, you are going to arrive at 0. So that is how to solve quadratic equation using completing the square method. So what I want you to do now, having watched this example 4, is to attempt example number 5, which is, so 8m squared minus 15m minus 2 is equals to 0. So this quadratic equation, find the root of the equation, which is the value of m in this equation, using completing the square method. So don't use any other method, use completing the square method, and let me know if you arrive at the answer. So if you solve it, you are going to get your m is equals to 2, or your m is equals to minus 1/8. So solve it and let me know if you arrive at this answer, and I'll see you in the next part of this video. So in the next part of this video, I'm going to be showing you how to solve quadratic equation using graphical method of quadratic equation. So if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button and make sure you like and you share this video, and I'll see you in the next part of this video. Thank you.